There it is. Recording to the cloud. So awesome. So thanks for being here. I'm going to go through a couple of big items that I want to cover very quickly so we can get right into the main points. Okay. Um, Typically, when you're building out a sales team, these are some of the biggest things that you got to pay attention to. Okay. I want to talk about KPIs with you guys, right? Key performance indicators of what you actually look in a sales team and every single hat that's associated with it. Let's also talk about headhunting, meaning how do you find the people that make sense for each one of those roles? I want to talk about sales training, what happens after you bring them in, how do you make sure that they're in a place of success? I want to also talk about systems. I'm not going to go into the technical details of systems, just so you know. I am not a technical person, okay? I lean and lay on the business development side of the world. I look at macro pictures. I don't do well in micro line item type of analytical thought process. That's not how I function. So just so you guys know, that's my style. And then let's also talk about team retention. What do you need to do to keep these people intact once you have found them and brought them into your team? Okay. Then I want to also talk about timeline. When is the right time to actually look at building a sales team? Maybe you're starting out, you only have one or two clients, or maybe you're a veteran and you've got 100 clients and trying to figure out how to systematize it. Either way, I can give you some insights because currently I run the high level agency with over 480 plus clients. I have a brand new agency that we started in November with less than 5 clients. And I'm also on the leadership side. So I've got a lot of insights to how agencies function today. Okay, so let's do a Q&A after. You guys with me so far? So these are some of the things that I want to share with you guys. Okay, I want you guys to engage with me. Keep me energized, right? I don't want to fall asleep on my own webinar here for you guys, okay? So I appreciate and welcome all the interaction. Feel free to cut me off and ask your questions that you want to get out anytime, okay? So 2 big things that I see agency owners make mistakes on. 2 big things. One, they don't have a business plan for their sales department, right? Think of yourself as a corporate organization, and if you had a sales manager, what would they do that day? Let's say you hired them and they're starting Monday. What exactly are they going to be doing, right? And you have to think in that sense, and that's how I usually think when I hire and fire people and bring in teams and build this thing out. I have to really look at it from a business plan. What is the function of this department? So first mistake that most agency owners make is they only have an agency plan, meaning they know the industry they're going after, they know what they're going to charge, they have some sort of idea of how to get clients, they know how to do demos, they know how to do intro calls, but then when it comes to building out a whole team, they don't have a real plan on that. Then the next thing that most people fall flat on their face on is performance. How do you track performance? What performance indicators actually matter, right? What actually matters? A lot of you just collect a bunch of data, right? You guys are analytical thinkers and you're drowning in data, more numbers, but none of it is actually contributing to decisions, right? If you cannot convert data and KPIs into decisions, you're just drowning in a lot of info for no reason, okay? So let me just share that with you guys as well. These are the 2 big mistakes that I typically see agency owners make when they go into the phases of building out a sales team, okay? Now, I'm going to move fairly fast so I can get right into some of the main frameworks and points, just so you guys know. If I'm going too fast, give me like a 2 on the chat. I'll slow down a little bit. I want to share with you guys a business plan, meaning an agency business plan, as well as a sales map that I've built for my own agencies in the past, okay? You're gonna really get a really macro idea of how to look at your agency, not even just from a sales perspective, but from a marketing perspective, okay? Now, after I show you my map out and explain how all that looks like, I want to come back to this slide and show you guys or share some ideas on recruiting, the marketing component, and retention. You guys with me so far? If you're ready to see my business plan and sales map out, give me a 1, guys. Give me some interaction here. If you're
Are we going to get a copy of that plan?
No, you're not. You're not. Before you even go there, I want to first show you and share with you and help you understand, because the worst thing I can do is hand over fish to you. The best thing I can do is turn you into fishermen, right? So I
Thank
don't
you.
want to just you can screenshot this. This is obviously being recorded. You have it for yourself. I'm happy to share that with you, but it may or may not apply to your business. Just so you guys know, a good amount of it will give you inspiration to structure this out. Okay, so let's look at my map out. This is what my agency today looks like, right? And I'm talking about the brand new one that's less than 2 months old. You guys see my screen, and I know this is really small, okay? You guys see my Funalytics board? Yes? Give me a one if you see
Yes.
my screen, the Funalytics board. Perfect. Gus says yes. Okay, cool. Let me help you guys understand this whole thing before I go into the granular details of it, okay? This is what so the top area right here is what I want to first pay attention on, right? First, that's what we're going to focus on the left side here. I'm gonna zoom it in so you can see each one item, but I want to share with you at a larger framework of where this flow goes. Okay, this flow here, this map out is going to give you the fundamental basics of how to bring leads into your agency, how to present the right offer, how to actually convert those leads with your team members, and then also retain those clients. And this is a sales cycle flow. Okay. So right here, let me see if I could, how do I use an annotation here? Let's see. On the very left side, let me just clear this, exit out. Okay. So on the very left side of my screen, there is, let me zoom in just a little bit so you guys can see. Okay. Now, do you see the granular detail a little better? You guys see it, right? Okay, cool. So on the very left side, the reason why I'm explaining this to you is if you don't have a lot of flow, a lot of leads coming into your agency, it's kind of useless to hire a salesperson or a closer. And a matter of fact, it's too early to build out a department. So what I'm going to show you is fundamental basics of what you need to do for your agency to get to the point of building out a sales department. Okay. So on the top left side, I mean, the very left side, I've got some resources here that I recommend. I don't really care about every single one of them. I'm not biased towards one of them. Every single one of your niches are different. You need to figure out those sources. Okay. So for my agencies and some of the ones that I work at, I can go to Fiverr, find an email scraper that's going to figure out name, phone number, and emails of my industry, and they will send me a list of people that I can reach out to. So this right here, the very left corner, is basically my source of leads. Okay, these are my initial sources of leads, and this is completely organic. Okay, so let me highlight this. You see the red that's highlighted? That's what I'm referring to. So you can go to Fiverr, get an email scraper that's going to send you a bunch of leads. You can hire independent providers, okay, that will focus on your niche and find exclusive lists of people that you can't get. And the reason why is because you have to do this at bulk. You have to do this at some seriously low for you to have good amount of closes. Okay. Then you can get a software called Local Scraper, right? You can have a VA that has access to it. He or she can just scrape every single day of a specific city of, relative to your niche. You can find things like Lead Carrot. You can create a Dream 100. But long story short, the first thing that you got to do is accumulate this data, right? You're going to collect all this data. That doesn't mean you can use it. So what I mean by this is like somebody give me an industry real quick, right? Let's just say chiropractors, for example, right? I know there's 65,000 chiropractors in the US. How do I get all their information? This is how I would do it. Once I get the information, I call it the data accumulation phase. I need to now clean this, right? That doesn't mean just because I have the data and a list of folks doesn't mean I can go ahead and blast off. I need to clean that list before I can actually do any kind of marketing. And remember, this is organic that we're talking about so far, okay? And I'll talk about paid ads as well, okay? So organic channels for cold email, these are the 5, 6 that I recommend, right? The next thing that you got to do with that list is collect it in one place, purify that list. Okay, there's actually systems that you can throw a list in, it'll get purified. Now, let me zoom out just a little bit. Let's go right here. Okay, now notice there's 2 offers, right? This is the exact structure I recommend all of you follow, especially if you're starting out. Okay, you don't want more than 2 offers in your entire. Let me mute my audio here a little bit. Let me, yeah, you don't want to have more than 2 offers. So the 2 offers that I recommend is going to be your 1597 retainer. I don't recommend 1596. I don't recommend 1598. I exactly mean 1597 for specific reasons. I've tested out different numbers and I know this is the numbers that work. Okay. Now, your second offer that was never like you in the past days as an agency, you were never able to offer SaaS. Now, with high level, you're able to offer SaaS. You should have a, let me correct this. You should have a 297 offer. Okay. Now, I'm not including setup fees and things like that in here. Okay. But basically, you have 2 offers. Okay. Now, the reason why I have these lines, you see that I have these lines, right? Then you have a channel split. You have these lines. These lines are the ones that I've been able to launch in the last 2 months for my agency. Ideally, so this is actually a live map out that we currently use, just so you guys know. I didn't put this together for today's presentation. This is live info that I'm sharing with you on strategies that I'm implementing. Now, I have these 3 lines going because right now I know cold email is live. I know Instagram paid ads are live, and I know Facebook paid ads are live. I'm just specifically talking about my 3rd agency that I just started. In the ideal world, you need to have, as an agency, before you can hire a salesperson, you need to have at least 1 paid channel live. You need to have at least 2 organic channels live. Until then, do not hire anybody. You guys with me so far? Because what's going to happen is they're going to come into your team. They're like, oh crap, where are the leads at? I'm too elite. I don't do outbound. I'm a closer. I need people booking on my calendar. And you're thinking, oh man, I don't even have people booking on my calendar, let alone me being able to build a system that's going to book a bunch of things on your calendar to be able to close. And I'm telling you how sales folks function. Okay. So before you hire anybody, these are the channels that you want to pay attention to for every agency out there in most industries. Now, don't take this like it's 10 commandments, right? You're going to have changes and variations depending on which niche that you're going after, okay? Some of them are effective in some niches or not, okay? So you want to tread lightly on where you invest into your funds, right? So cold outbound, as if it's a independent call center, you can do that, right? Direct mail, you can do cold direct mail, meaning like lumpy mail. You can send a prospect an actual mail if you want. People do that at scale and get clients that way for agencies. Cold email, right? Cold email needs to be at mass bulk. If you're not sending at least 15 to 20,000 emails a month, you're not really doing cold email. Okay? My previous trainings, I've explained that you need to have at least 500 to 600 emails going out a day. Okay. Gus says, will you share this with me? So Gus, I built this out in Funalytics and this is the free account. Let me see if there's a way for me to download this out, but I don't know. I don't know if I could, but regardless, you have the recording, you'll be able to go through it. Now, cold email, LinkedIn, partner program, you can have affiliates for your agency. organic Facebook DMs, Instagram or organic DMs, banner ads, YouTube ads, Instagram paid ads, Facebook paid ads, and AdWords. A normal agency will have at least 6, 7 of these live simultaneously. I'm talking about the agencies with the glass windows. You know, I'm talking about the ones with the glass windows. They're constantly talking on their stories about how they're scaled and this and that. Those guys, they got about 5, 6 paid channels running. Okay. If you're a freelancer and you're just starting out, you got less than 10 clients, I recommend just going basic. One paid minimum. You have to have one paid. Okay, you have to have at least 2 organic. Okay, you guys with me so far? Is this insightful of how you map out a sales flow before you start hiring and firing? You guys with me
Yes,
so
sir.
far? Cool.
Yes, sir.
Okay, awesome. So the next thing that happens is once those leads flow in and they book time on your calendar, let me go in just a little bit. Once they book time on your calendar, guess what happens? The next activity is notification emails that go out to them. So you have a capture page, right? Based on that capture, you're going to have emails going out, text messages going out saying, hey, glad you opted in, saw that you saw our advertisement on Facebook, just wanted to reach out to you and engage with you, right? Some of them will skip over and not just be a lead, they will even become an intro call, self-booking into your closers' calendars, which is even better, right? They're a little further along on the sales cycle, right? On there, you'll also have notification emails and text messages going out, reminding them to show up, okay? So your reminder notification that I'm talking about here, these are all emails and text messages extremely precise and relevant to the fact that they need to show up to the calls. It's not about case studies. It's not about social proof. It's not about results. It's not about screenshots of anything. It's strictly notifications for them to show up to the calendar or the call, the demos or the call. There's a 2-step close that I always recommend for agencies. These systems have to be in place before you hire somebody or bring somebody in at scale. You guys with me so far, right? Then in addition to that, this is the next phase of it. This is a bit more advanced, just so you guys know. And if you don't have this in place, I don't want you to feel like, oh man, this is what agencies do. I'm kind of falling behind, right? I don't want you to feel overwhelmed when I'm sharing all this with you. These are things that you build out Sunday after church and whenever you're done with your stuff and you got 2 hours a week spending for yourself. This is when you build those things out and you're not really dedicating your normal business hours towards this. You build out stuff when you have downtime. As time goes, it builds a massive machine, okay? So the next phase that happens is soap opera emails, okay? Meaning you're really just giving them like a 8-9 day sequence of, hey, I know you're about to get on a call with us, or thanks for being on the call with us already. I want to just share with you what I've done for other clients just like you. Are you guys able to see this? Is this hard to see, or do I need to zoom in a little bit more? We're good. Okay, cool. Okay. So you understand the difference between soap opera emails versus reminder emails. Okay. And there's a great gentleman named Connor Robertson, and he uses the term soap opera emails, and I love it. And I want to give him credit for those terms for sure. Okay. But soap opera emails are basically results-driven emails, text messages, voicemails, whatever the heck you want to send them. Don't think too hard on the medium, okay? If they jumped on an intro call and you got your sales admin sending them a personalized letter, that's still a soap opera sequence in my mind, okay? And then you have a short run of like a 6-day, you can make this maybe 10 days if you got more results. But this right here, I'm talking about this particular sequence that I highlighted. It's different than notifications. It's simply just helping them make decisions about what you're offering.
Soap opera means what?
Sorry?
Soap opera. Why do you call it soap opera?
Because they're dramatic. Hey, guess what, John? You're a chiropractor, and I wanted to share with you how we brought in $125,000 last month, and here's how he fixed his lifestyle, and now he's on a vacation with his wife that he was waiting to go on for 5 years. That is dramatic as hell.
Even a little bit more than that. But the soap opera, think of how a soap opera runs.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, a soap opera is going to open up in middle of drama, and it's going to close with a cliffhanger, and it never freaking ends.
Yes. So when you think of guys like Dan Kennedy, influence, the psychology side of marketing, David Ogilvy, this is where psychology of marketing kicks in more than the technical side of marketing. You've got to understand your niche well enough to be able to build those sequences out along with their pain points, right? What this does is what? When you go from, if I were to just jump on a sequence with you and I registered for becoming a lead or becoming an appointment for an intro call, right? So and you notice there's a capture, an appointment, and if they don't show up or they show up, they still get the soap opera emails. And guess what happens? There's a second appointment interaction. What the second appointment interaction does, or the third, you don't know which one they're going to jump to the demo session with, so let's say a lead comes in, they schedule an intro call and they don't show up. You don't know if they're going to come back for a demo with just soap opera emails and a reschedule, right? If they don't, what you want to do is build this out. What exactly is this? Okay, you guys stick with me here. This has a lot of value in how you build out a sales team. If this is not in place, it's too early for you to build out a massive sales team, okay? So let's say that you gave them the soap opera emails, you send them another notification or a cold call, right? Outbound to see if they can book time on your calendar, and they still don't. You throw them into these channels. It's a 52-week email sequence that I recommend. That is 1 whole year of sequences. Sounds crazy. But again, this is something you work on Sundays after church, not your Monday mornings when you should be killing fires. You guys follow me so far? These are not things that you're going to just be able to build up just one day. This is going to take time. It's going to accumulate over time. Over that time, you'll build a machine that is just going to seamlessly work for you throughout an entire year. And that's about the longest cycle that you're going to ever get. They're in contract with another agency for 12 months. They're going to renew for another contract maybe at the end of the year. So more than 52 is just too much. You don't need anything more than that. So what that's going to be is a combination of your soap opera emails or just value add or just something small. You can start off with a 12-month sequence. Once a month, they're getting something outside of the soap opera and the notifications, right? Then you work on it a little bit more, make it bi-weekly. You got 24 sequences, right? And you build on top of that. The next thing you want to do is when you run paid ads, make sure your pixels are set up, make sure your follow-up things are set up, and you can run retargeting campaigns either on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or all three together.
Can you add your pixels to the calendar as well?
I don't know. Can we? I'm not a technical person. I don't know if you can. I think Chase might be able to tell you if you can add it to your calendar. But I'm sure you can add it to the funnel, the initial funnel. Yeah, initial funnel after the opt-in. I don't know about the calendar, but some of you tech wizards in here might be able to answer that. But at the end of the day, what you want to do is have retargeting set up. So then what happens is you follow this lead from where? Look at the sequence, right? When you follow them from beginning to the end, they come from a random source that you bought. They go through these initial ads presenting one of these offers, and then they move through your sales cycle of leads, appointments, soap opera emails, rebooking, retargeting, rebooking another time if they need it, then finally getting to the world of closers, which is right here. Demos and strategy sessions. You guys with me so far? Right? I've just laid a foundational framework of what you have to get to before the sales team could be built out, right? And you can start simply with just 1 paid ads running, 2 organic, and you'll be able to rock and roll, okay? And this is what happens. They finally get on a demo. They can send out proposals, right? We're talking about this last cycle, right? Demos, send out proposals, they close deals, account manager takes over. Any questions so far before I go into the next item? This is what we're looking at as a business plan.
Quick question
Any
for you.
questions? Yeah.
Yeah. So now let's say if I'm using Mailgun or Mailshake.
Don't use
and-
high level for prospecting.
Okay.
Because
So-
remember, emails, you got to do bulk. If you're not rolling out 15 to 20,000 emails a month, you're not doing enough on cold,
Mhm.
right? So you need to use other ways like, setting up your independent Gmail accounts. You can do AWS through Amazon service. You can set up your own system like a server and run cold emails that way. But I don't want to go into how to set up cold email. But
No, I
the
understand that,
numbers
yeah.
and volume has to make sense,
Okay. Okay.
right?
So find a way to get
cold
it done.
email, for example, let's go through the numbers. Okay, you guys are with me so far. Let's see. Can we get a copy of this map? I'm gonna try. I signed up for a Funalytics free trial or something. Let me see if I can upgrade it and get you guys this map. But anyways, this is the flow of the sales inbound flow. I'm not even talking about outbound. This is just the inbound flow of how you have to have your agency set up before you can start building out a sales team. Okay. Going back to this slide right here. Okay. Let's talk. So far, I've laid out a blueprint of bringing in leads, converting leads, and helping them with appointments and demo calls, right? Let's talk about KPIs. I want to talk about headhunting. I want to talk about all these other items as well. So let's talk about KPIs. What are actual volumes that we should take a look at? But first, I want to help you understand what exactly is a sales unit, right? How should you structure your actual unit, meaning your sales team, okay? Yes, Robert. Yes, I do mean sanitizing as in filtering, making sure they don't bounce. Okay. So a sales unit, let me see if I can fix this little line. This is annoying me. Okay, cool. A sales unit. Okay. Whether you like it or not, there are 4 main hats in a sales unit as an agency owner. You guys as agency owners, when you're doing sales activities, ideally you're doing 4 types of work, okay? The 4 types of work is divided into these 4 hats. These are 4 different individuals that do 4 totally different things, okay? An account, let me zoom this in just a little bit more, okay? An account executive. What and who is an account executive? In the standard world, we call them a closer. Okay, this is a closer. An account executive is a closer. Okay, a business developer is not a closer. What they do is map together ecosystems, map together the strategies that go into marketing, that go into the sales. They're kind of the glue of the unit. Okay, they look at things at a macro level or a very micro level, and they're able to keep track of everything. They're able to make recommendations, and they make decisions like, you know what, there is a chiropractic conference that's happening in Vegas There's about 1,200 chiros that are going to show up there. We need to go there as a unit. That's a business developer functioning. That's not a marketer. That's a business developer thinking in that sense. Okay. Then you have the sales admin. How many of you have met some great people that just like to work that front desk for $40K a year, and they're working with like $100 million sales company? But they themselves, they're happy where they are. Don't bother them. They're good at what they do. They live in that world of admin work. So these are folks that could set appointments for you. You guys heard the term appointment setters. That's a different person than a closer. That's a different person than a developer, right? Some sales admins, they will do proposals for you to take. What the sales admin actually do is support the account executives directly with admin work, whether it's proposals, agreements, figuring out card information, things of that nature, right? Marketing executive. Every sales unit, or entirely all 3 units, should have at least one marketing person. What do? They put out content all day long about your offers, right? They run your ads for you, right? They'll create blogs. They'll figure out where else other people are hanging out and create marketing content there. You notice if you take a salesperson and ask them to do marketing things, they're going to fall on their face. That's not what they do, right? So a standard unit is a 4-hat unit. A lot of you as freelancers, or you're starting out, you're typically doing these 4 types of activities, okay? Now, you can have, ideally, for one closer, let's look at the volume for an agency, okay? And I'm talking about, don't get too detailed about whether this is a unsaturated niche or saturated niche. I know I've talked about that in the past, but for one closer, these are the numbers that you must try to match, okay? Let's say based on the traffic sources that I've shared with you, cold email, paid ads, DMs, whatever the heck you want to do for your industry, right? You should have around 350 to 400 leads per closer per month for your agency. That's for one closer. Now, from that number, they should be able to break down and at least engage, whether it's through text, email, phone call, whatever. You need to be able to double check that it's a real lead, right? Around 275 to 285. And let's classify and just make sure we address a lead. A lead is name, phone number, and email, and that's it. And they responded to an offer, right? If you put out a bunch of cold emails and it doesn't talk about an offer, it's not a lead. Why? Because you just threw some content out there and they were just curious. I don't want to have a bunch of curious Georges in my ecosystem. They're just nibbling around trying to figure out some information. They're not active buyers. I want active buyers for my sales unit, right? So for an offer that you present out there, the 2 offers that I recommend are a little further up. We talked about this, right? These are the offers, the 2 offers that I recommend today. A $15.97 retainer with the setup fee. I'll talk about the comps and numbers and structures. SaaS also should be around the $297 range. Okay, so KPIs wise, per closer, per month, per unit, this is the numbers that you got to run. 350 to 400, total engaged is 275 to about 285. 400 leads will lead to about 175 intro calls, minimum. From those intro calls, they should be able to book about 75 to 100 demos a month. It gives them about 6 demos a day. Guess what? You show up at 9 o'clock, you're not ready to work till 10 o'clock. You have an hour break from 1 to 2. You're dozing off, kill 30 minutes here and there. Then you may do something till 4 o'clock. So really, from a team member, you're going to get about 6 hours of quality work if they ran it for an 8-hour shift. With that in mind, total number of demos, if I'm at like 30 demos a week, I'm at what, 120 demos total, right? That's a good range. 75 to 100 is fine. Okay. From there, if your closers are good, you're going to be able to generate about 50 to 65 proposals a month. Puts you right at 20 to 30 closes a month. That may seem like a large number, but that's a very average number in most established agencies. For a freelancer, you can cut this in half. If you're an actual traditional full stack agency, you need to double up these numbers per closer. You guys follow me so far? Okay, so if you're under 5 clients, cut these numbers in half. Excuse me. Close about 5-10 deals before you go into mapping out this entire ecosystem for yourself. You're not going to be able to single-handedly handle 400 leads coming in. That's a lot, right? We're talking about 400 leads for a unit, a 4-man unit with one closer. Okay? Now, going back to my presentation, let's just stop there for a quick second. Let's do a quick Q&A real quick based on what I've shared with you guys so far. Was this insightful? Is this giving you a very macro picture of what in the world you should do to start up your agency the right way? We're talking about almost 5-6 organic channels, about 10 paid ads channels, 2 offers, running appointments, leads, soap opera emails, sales unit. There's a lot of pieces here, okay? And in simpler terms, if you're the only person in your agency and you're the only person that's handling sales, get yourself about 200-300 leads a month through these channels, close enough deals, have enough activities, and stop focusing on the results of your clients. Stop. If you're under 5 to 10 clients, stop focusing on the services. Your clients and your book of business is not going to expand just because you provided a lead service. You're not. They're going to drop off. Guess what? Agencies have 75% churn rate. Even if you provided white glove service, what I'm telling you is they're going to cancel on you in 2 and 3 months. So what's the point of you focusing so much on the services? In the initial phase, what you need to focus on is the sales unit, is the sales department, because the more clients you serve, the faster you can resource this piece right here that I haven't really talked about, which is account management. Account management is going to actually save retention, not sales, not your services. It's account management. Your ad buyers and the quality of their ad buyers is not going to save your retention. It's the account managers and their ability to handle relationships. That's what creates retention. All right. So before we get there to the account management piece, which I want to do another session on with some of our account managers on here, I want to just layer out the blueprint for a sales map. I've explained to you guys on what a unit looks like. I've shared some numbers of where you need to be before you can bring in a closer for yourself. And I've also shared with you at a macro level the possibility of channels and how much flow you have to have. Okay.
Could I ask you a question?
Let's take a break because I feel like I just brain dumped a ton of information all at once. Let's take a break. What are some questions that you guys have?
Okay, just a question. So with this kind of organization and the all the steps, I mean, every step we are going to qualify the lead that comes in from the beginning to the end. So what I'm looking at is, I mean, if you are so organized
Where's his brother?
as,
Okay.
as an agency, as an agency, if we are so organized and everything is planned out so well, so by the time this lead gets to the end of the cycle, now at that point, I mean, I'm thinking that if, you know, the work of the sales team is kind of almost minimized. I mean, does it really, do we need to have like a sales team at that point, or that's just a matter of closing? You know what I'm saying? Because if somebody goes through the whole cycle and they're still in the game, they still want to be, you know, they're still interested. So most likely they're going to end up closing. No,
Nope,
okay.
they won't close. I've had people give me their card info
Uh-huh.
and they still don't close. Right? They'll sign up and say, "Oh man, kind of changed my mind after I signed up." What do you do?
So
Right?
yeah.
So agencies don't close clients that easy. It's not.
Okay.
It's a very complex sales cycle, to be honest.
Mhm.
Because guess what? Even if you just charge $1,000 a month,
Mm-hmm.
from the customer's perspective, they're forking up $12,000 right then and there.
Okay.
This is high ticket sales. This is complex sales because we're all selling this massive subscription on agency services, right?
Mm-hmm.
1,000 to 5,000 to 10,000. That's a quite of a swallow for most small business owners who wants to outsource marketing. So just because you have leads and you're qualifying them through doesn't mean they will close. But what I'm sharing with you today is you do need to have these filtration systems for you to qualify yourself to have a sales unit and then put that sales unit in a place of success to close. It's worse to give somebody bad leads at volume. If my closer comes in and they have 500 leads and none of those leads are actually generated from an offer that I presented, you're going to lose your sales closer matter of like 3 weeks. They're going to bounce.
Got you. Okay.
Okay, so you need to, so let's on that note, let's segue into this component, right? Let's talk about headhunting.
Okay.
Right? Let's talk about headhunting. Well, before I go there, anybody else want to add on to what we just said? Anybody have any questions on what I've shared so far? Mr. Bybee, is it Bybee?
Yep. Hear
Go
me?
ahead, buddy.
Hello.
Yep. Go ahead.
All
Go
right.
ahead.
Hey,
What's your question?
as a one man show,
Yep.
what do you guys think? Like how much should you be concentrating on fulfillment compared to sales, assuming you have to do it all? Because I feel like I'm
Yep.
pretty busy with this, and I'm just trying to figure out, do I outsource the fulfillment? Do I
Yep.
get at least one admin on the sales?
Yep.
/
So let me
client
make
management side?
a statement. You're gonna be only good at one thing. It's either sales or fulfillment. You cannot be good at both. Otherwise,
I don't want to be good at both.
you shouldn't be wanting to get good at both. You should focus on one or the other. And what you want to do is bring in another hat for the weaknesses. Most guys that I talk to, most ladies that I talk to, guess what? They're going to enjoy the technical side of marketing. They love running ads. They're looking at, relevant scores and zapping this, and they're a technology person. Somebody that enjoys that shouldn't jump into sales activities the long haul. In the beginning, you're going to wear a lot of these hats together, which is fine. Okay. But you need to choose which boat you're going to ride in, because if you don't, you're not going to have a scalable blueprint.
Makes sense.
If
Thanks.
you're not good at sales and you're good at fulfillment, stay at fulfillment, hire a closer, hire a salesperson, hire this unit that I'm talking about. If you are good at sales, take part in one of the units and the hats and outsource the fulfillment. That's why we have Marketplace. You don't want to drown in the tech stuff? Go to our Marketplace. The high-level team could run your Facebook ads for you, run your Facebook, your websites for you, your funnels, right? You don't have to take on all that fulfillment. So I recommend choosing one or the other. You
Well,
will
that makes sense.
Guess what? You know what I used to think about when I first started in my dental agency in 2014? I thought to myself, if I provided the best customer service, if I was involved with my client, give them the best relationship, best strategy, dude, I would fly into my clients' locations, wherever they are in the United States, spend a week with them and train them in person, shoulder to shoulder.
The Lamborghini
I would
of
save up
agency.
money to make sure I take the entire team out to freaking, Panera Bread, because that's about all I can afford for like 10 people at the time. Because I'm a one-man show. I'm playing this big agency card, right?
Yep.
So, but guess what? That doesn't create expansion revenue, right? You cannot scale agencies today just because you provide great services. They cancel even with white glove services. So you cannot think of it like it's Apple, right? When we buy Apple, we're like, oh my God, this is amazing product. The product sold itself to me. I don't need a closer to tell me how good Apple is. I
Yeah.
know the product is good. But in the services industry, it doesn't work like that. So I recommend choosing one or the other and being the expert at one or the other. You cannot chase both rabbits. You will fail at scaling. You may get to 10 clients and stay there and get caught in the rat race of zapping all these things together.
Yeah.
Right? So that's my recommendation. Anybody else? Anybody
Thanks,
want to
Paulson.
add on to what we're talking about? Just want to take a quick break before I go into my next segment, which is details on how much to pay your sales guys, how to find them, what are the KPIs, all of that jazz. Anybody else? Go ahead, Mr. Robert. Unmute yourself if
Yeah, here it goes.
yeah.
Paulson, good points. It speaks to building it around. If you build it around the center, there is no scale. So I think the points that you're hitting on is smart. You have to focus on the segmentation and focus on the skill set and bringing a team and building a team that really supports that. But I want to just echo that what you said right there about building the scale. If you build it around yourself, you're doomed.
Yeah, and also, even if you build it on yourself, build on your strength, not weaknesses. I told my wife, guess what? When we get married, I promise you, I'm not working on my weaknesses. You need to marry me for the strengths that I have. Otherwise, we're gonna call it quits. And she said, fair enough. I like you for your strengths, right? I don't believe in working and building on weaknesses as human beings. Like, I know I'm not an analytical person. You will lose me. I will fail you if you ask me to put together an Excel sheet. But the legal tax team that I have that work for me, that live in the world of analytics, and they are good at the details of like line items, and they're a technical person, I rather hire them instead of me trying to do my own taxes. I'm telling you, right? In the same way, in the agency world, most of us think good clients are going to bring better clients. It's not the case. We're not a product business. We are a service-oriented businesses, right? No matter what happens, everything is on the emotional of what they think of the services. Why do most SEO guys fail? They don't know how to explain and elaborate what it is that you do for them. They're in a technical world, right? So let me go ahead and segue into my next topic that I want to build on this, right? So how do you find, so we talked about the sales unit right here, right? Anybody have any questions on the sales unit? You'll see the same exact structure in big, massive companies. These are the 4 or 5 different sales activities you take part in when you try to close the deal, right? You're bringing the lead in, you're calling them to make sure they show up, you're sending a proposal out, you're telling them what else you can do for them. All those activities would have been handled by 4 different people in a standard unit. Anybody have any questions on the sales unit, the team unit? Cool. So this unit, right? Let's talk about headhunting, right? How do you find the folks that can wear these hats? My favorite is actually Facebook groups. So what I do for the agency world, with my agencies, that's what I do. I'll go into a Facebook group of like sales professionals, high ticket sales guys, and all these things. And I'll put out my offer. A bunch of people will either message me and I'll have like a type form build out of just questions like, hey, tell me why you think you're going to close. Tell me why you think you're qualified. send me a 1-minute YouTube video of explaining why we think you're the right guy. That video, I promise to God, speaks louder than anything that's filled out. I've had guys tell me, I am a 7-figure closer. I watched the YouTube video. They're like, hey, hi, yeah, man, I just want to help people. And because I can help people, I think I can help you. Dude, I don't feel a 7-figure closer. Like, what the heck happened? That video is the biggest questionnaire you're going to have in your intake application. Number 1 for your headhunting activities. Okay. Number 2, separate out who you're hiring. Your applications shouldn't be tackled around all 4 units. In the beginning, all you need to hire is the actual account executive. Okay. To Ahmad's point, you can automate a whole lot of things that a sales admin would do. Okay. You can automate a good amount of what a marketing executive could do. You can even get away by not having a business developer for an agency. I get it. We're not a Fortune 500 big corporation. But I just still want to layer out the structure to you guys so you understand how to play this, right? Even if you're starting out with less than 5 clients, the first person you're going to hire is the account executive. In other words, a closer. Okay. Now, what in the world should you pay these closers? Right? Let me go right into it. So let's see. We talked about this. We talked about recruiting. So we're on recruiting. Oh yeah. Before I go into the comp structure, let me give you guys tip number 2. Tip number 1: make sure you force them to record a video to present themselves. That speaks a whole lot. Okay. Tip number 2: deny them, decline them, be negative in the first initial interaction. Every single time I've ever interviewed a closer, I try my best to disqualify them. Okay? I've hired hundreds of people in my career, hundreds. Guess what I do when I'm sitting in my office? Imagine this, Robert. I'm sitting in my office. The guy applied to be a closer. He's walking in, suit, tie, super dapper, cuffling, super strong cologne, blah, 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 sitting down. And I'm like, man, you don't smell like a closer. Have you done this before? I'm going to be negative and attack them. The first thing I do is attack them. I intentionally do this. It seems like you don't have it all. You don't have what it takes. I don't think you're going to be successful. Guess what a real closer will say? They're going to be combative. First sign of a good closer. They're competitive and combative. They almost can't even get along with everybody, right? They're going to be like, what the heck are you talking about? Tell me about your business. What do you guys really have going on here? They're going to be combative with you. First, the second tip that I want to share with you: when you interview somebody, go at them, attack them, see how they respond. If they're going to be like a paper plate in a snowstorm, next. But if they compete with me, if they attack me back, I like it. Oh, I like it. Like, I want them to respond, because guess what? They're going to be attacked every single hour of being on that demo. They're going to get rejections on that intro call. They're going to get rejections after the proposals have been signed. You guys with me so far, right? So two big tips: attack the closer, make sure they have a video before they even jump on a call with you, right? Number 2 is marketing. Inbound versus outbound. When you hire somebody, when you're headhunting, make sure you understand the difference between inbound versus outbound. Okay? Inbound is when the prospect has initiated the interaction. Outbound is when the seller has initiated the interaction. Okay? So if a lead comes in, and if you're telling your guy to call that lead back, that's not outbound. That's just That's just goddamn. Get on the phone, call these people back. You got an inbound flow coming in, right? That's like, don't waste my lead, right? That is inbound. Just because they call back outbound doesn't mean that's considered to be outbound flow. So when you go into these groups and when you're trying to find somebody, some of them will tell you, hey, I'm an inbound closer. I don't do outbound. What they're telling you is, I find myself to be too valuable to be cold calling somebody who's never interacted with you, which is a good thing. You want them to have systems and set up all these channels and bring in inbound closers. Okay. So that's the marketing component of it. You want to have inbound systems built in. Otherwise, your closer is not really closing. They're just following up and calling a bunch of people, trying to cold call everybody in the world and generate leads. They're just like another channel, like cold email. Okay, that's what call centers do. That's not what closers do. Okay. Now retention. I want to talk about retention. Money is the language of this crowd, but money is not the language of leadership. Not everybody in a company is going to be feeling rewarded with more money thrown at them. Okay, so that's just a disclaimer. You cannot just pay a bunch of people raises, think that they're going to stick with you long term. As you get bigger, you'll realize that in leadership, only a few items are solved with money being thrown at them. Okay, so let's talk about comm structures while we're at it. This is what I recommend. Somebody just asked in the chat, or maybe they did a while ago, I didn't see it. Are you going to review and make recommendations on salaries for each one of those units? Yep, absolutely. Here we go. So your offer, the two offers that I recommend is $15.97 for your monthly retainers, right? Monthly retainer. Okay, cool, right? SaaS, monthly retainer. And there's two things I like to do with my closers. I like to give them the freedom of charging a setup fee if they want to, right? If they don't want to and waive it just to meet the quota that you may set for them, they may opt to do so. But guess what? They feel like now they have something more than just a standard offer, right? Some people, they'll just waive the setup fee knowing that they have 30 demos and they're going to close half of them. Okay, so it just depends on how that closer wants to play. But here's how I recommend the commission structure for closers. 20% of the first month is a standard practice in the marketing world. 20% of the first month. I personally, with my agency, I like to give them 100% of the setup fee. So one deal, let's say at $15.97, let's calculate this out. If I did later, let me see if I can calculate this out with you guys. So $15.90, my phone is freezing. Should be about 319. So $15.97 times 20%, that's 319 and 40 cents. If the closer chooses to leverage his freedom to charge a setup fee, and if he does charge it per close, he's going to make about $819. If he closed 3 deals a week, that puts him at 12 deals a month. He'll make 10 grand. You guys with me so far? And we haven't even talked about the SaaS offer, right? The SaaS offer, to me, it's a requirement of setup fee. And the reason why I like to have a requirement, I don't want to give them the option of waiving it, is because for my SaaS offer, I want to for sure have a SaaS account manager. And that account manager gets paid for by this setup fee. It's a different topic. I don't want to go into it. But for my second offer, I force the setup fee. They get 20% of the monthly retainer. And they get 20%, or they get the 100% of the 500 if they actually do close for the main agency retainer. Okay, that's your closer. 20% on month one, 50 to 100% of setup fee. That's a closer. That's a standard. That's not new. That's been the same way for like 5-10 years. Okay. Sales admin. Sales admins do not function on commission. They are salaried individuals. They're not, their risk tolerance is much lower. They want a safe cushion job. Okay. When you get to the point of hiring an admin person, right, the fees that I would recommend is around the 35 to 45K range. You want somebody who's actually very analytical at this position. They're good at keeping track of proposals, agreements, Excel sheets, billing, things of that nature. Okay. Business developers, you guys as a marketing agency with less than maybe 500 clients, you're not going to need a real business developer. If you were to ever hire one, they're going to cost you about 200 grand. Okay. Marketing. You don't have to have a marketing person either, right? But if you do, your ad buyer that's dedicated to just sales activities for yourself is going to cost you about 60 to 70 grand. Sometimes you can take that ad buyer and leverage them for fulfillment services and things like that. But this is what a unit looks like. After 90 days or 6 months, you can now bring them into a residual of total revenue if you want to. I have actually never done that myself, because guess what? You can go start your own business if you want to have your own equity, right? Right? That's just my flavor, right? Right? So I don't ever offer residual, and I tell them you can have 100% of setup fee instead. Most agencies will just do 20% of everything instead of even offering 100% of the setup fee. So my cost of acquisition is high, but I'm okay with that because I don't have to give up a residual income, right? You guys with me so far? I'm in Houston, guys, and it's pouring raining down here. I'm going to make somebody else a host in this meeting in case. Let me see. Who do I know in here that I could even? Kara, I hope you're staying with me rest of the way. Miss Owens, are you going to be on rest of the way?
Yep, I'll be here.
Okay, awesome. I'm going to make you a co-host. That way, in case I get cut off, I'll jump back in, okay?
Okay,
Make sure you let
sounds
me
good.
in.
Yep.
Okay,
Awesome.
cool. So I just got a glass window here. It's like pouring rain. But anyways, any questions on the comp structure? Does this make sense? Going back to this sales unit, I'm talking about per unit, right?
Do you include like a base salary, or do you do commission only?
No, commission only. Closers don't need base salary. Real closers don't need base salary. If they're not confident in their skills, they're going to ask for base salary. The second indication whether they're a real closer or not. Right? They want something safe. Closers don't want anything safe. They want 100% commission with all the risk. Right? So typically not. Right? Now, there are some instances where you could bring them and have them do sales activities on commission and base, but typically for an agency, I really don't think you need to. Like, I've hired at least 80, 90 people in this position. Never did I ever once offer a base salary. Now, if I gave them a bonus and I calculated internally as an agency owner, hey, I'm going to throw $1,000 at the unit at one point or another, right? I may save $1,000 and make sure every single person in that unit gets a $500 bonus every other month, right? That's the other trick to keep them intact, right? But it's not a requirement. As you're starting out, all you need is a commission-based closer, and you're bringing the leads in, all inbound, right? They're not having to work for any leads. They're getting the leads handed over to them either on an intro call, lead basis, or a demo that's pre-booked. Okay? So this is a comp structure I personally like. I have my closers currently on this comp structure. Okay, so this is from practical applications. I see a few, let's see. Suzanne says, is that salary for account executive both 20% and the setup fee, or one or the other? The retainer on 20%, the setup on 100%. That's what I do. You can do the setup on 50% if you want, but the retainer needs to be a solid 20%. Does that help, Suzanne? And Anne says, are all these in the US? Yes, all US. All the numbers that I'm sharing with you are all US numbers. Okay, so if you guys are in here and you're either European or Australian, I don't know the exact numbers that goes in that market, but the structure still stands. This structure will always stand in my books. Okay. Let's see. Let's go to the next item. So we talked about recruiting, marketing, retention. We talked about comm structure. I had a few questions about marketplace and how you can leverage marketplace. As you're building out your sales unit, these are the 4 products and services that you can outsource instead of you handling a lot of it if you want to. Outside of your client fulfillment, just so you guys know, we do Facebook ads, Google ads, SEO, websites, all of that jazz. But these are the 4 main ones that agencies themselves use. You have the startup agency marketing bundle for $7.99 that comes with the website, a funnel, your social media profiles that are all designed and things like that, a branding kit, right? You have the Eliza AI and partners. So if you want to, instead of hiring a sales admin, you can enroll into the Eliza AI and get the sales admin hat done for like $500. Okay. So you want to talk to one of the partners. You want to figure out what makes sense there for yourself. So that's another way to go down on your cost. Then you also have done for your account creation. If you don't think you have your sub account created properly for your sales guys, we have an option with our consulting team where they will build it out for you. One time, $2.99, it's done and over with. Then you can duplicate that account rest of the way. Then you also have the mini rush pack. I just wanted to share this with you just because I had a few questions before I got on the webinar about, hey, what are marketplace items that I can leverage for my own sales unit, for my own agency? These are the things that I want to talk about. I don't want to be too salesy and pitch you guys on, all these things. It doesn't really matter if you buy it or not. If you want to get that time back for yourself, feel free to leverage marketplace for yourself. But I want to go back to this right here. Any questions on this entire structure we talked about today? Was this insightful? Does this give you a really big macro picture of how to build out your sales flow, your marketing, all the different structures, how to tackle your map, your unit, when to hire? Let's talk about when to hire. If you cannot meet these KPI requirements, you cannot hire. It's that simple. If you don't have at least 350 to 400 inbound leads coming in for your agency, it's too early to hire a salesperson. So how do you get these numbers up? You get these numbers up by building these out, right? Up here, I talked about these 10, 11, 12 channels, paid and direct, paid and organic, I mean. My new agency that I started in November, we only have cold email, Instagram paid ads, and Facebook ads running. That's why there's only 3 dotted lines. As soon as I build out LinkedIn, I'm going to connect that dot, right? This is what my business developer looks at. What are the channels we have next, right? Right? You can have direct mail. I've had great people tell me, hey, I've done 2,000 direct mail going out to a bunch of dentists out there. And what I did was send them a little mini toy that's like a trash can. And inside it, they rambled up a little Post-it note and said, hey, your current marketing is garbage. Give me a call. You can hire people to do that at scale. Just so you know, at scale. You can send that out to 50,000 dentists in simple ways like that. There are channels, so many creative ways that you can engage your specific industry in. But I just wanted to share with you, all the different aspects of building out a sales department. Okay. Now let's do just open Q&A. What I don't want to do is just talk rest of the way. I want to interact with you guys. Help me understand some of your questions and let's go through with that.
I have a question.
Paul,
Let's see.
I want to ask.
I think, yeah, go ahead.
I want
Yeah, go
okay,
on.
you go ahead.
Go
Yeah,
on,
I'm
go on.
gonna call people out. So let's go with raise your hand at the bottom. Okay, yeah, there you go. Is it Nikoi? Is that a random name you had on your Zoom, man?
It's Nathan Okoye, but it's
Got it.
sure.
Nathan,
I
what
was
do you got for me?
lazy, you know.
What's your first question?
All right. You were talking about the retainer, right? Where they pay you monthly. I think it was 20% for the retainer, and either 100% for the setup or the 50% for the setup, right?
Right.
Now, is this retainer on a monthly occurrence? Like
No. It's month one.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's something that you want to. Yeah, I mean, for sure, it's month one only.
Yeah.
Let me go to. Hold on one second here. Let me share.
I came in late, so I didn't get to absorb.
I probably just didn't highlight that and make it a point. Hold on one second. Okay, cool. So let's go here. You see where I said month one?
Okay. Yeah.
My bad, my man. So let's fix that right there. Okay, cool.
Right, perfect. Yeah.
Month one. So guess what happens? My acquisition cost at $15.94. Guess what? I know it's $820 if they took all the setup fee. But guess what my closers do? They're like, dude, I just want to close the damn deal. I'm just gonna charge $250. Sure, no problem. Your world. I'm giving you volume. So if they see that you have good leads, they're gonna be more than happy to just waive the setup fee to meet the quota.
Okay. Where do we find these closers?
So two places that I recommended: Facebook groups of closers. That's one of my favorites. I've found at least 50, 60 people there, right? The second is actually headhunting on LinkedIn, right? You can, if you have time to go find folks that are in sales positions, you can reach out to them and ask them if they're down for something like that, right?
Okay.
The third is the niche, right? So I've actually hired business owners in the niche that don't want to run business anymore, and I've brought them in because they're industry experts already.
Okay.
Right. And that's a pretty interesting way. Let's say for example, if you are in industries that are sales friendly, like insurance, real estate, collections, finances, recruiting, these folks have some natural sales abilities. So I don't have a problem bringing on a realtor who doesn't want to be on he doesn't want to be a foot soldier anymore, right? And I throw 30% at them and say, hey man, charge $1,000 setup fee just to match your flavor. No problem, because guess what? I don't have to train that person on that industry. So that's the third way that I've done that. Right. So does that help, Nathan?
Yeah. Thank you. I'm actually investigating right now.
I know I'm getting a lot of your gears turned and you're thinking about, oh crap, there's a lot of info. Where do I start? I would just say simplify and go back to your traffic channels first. Get the KPIs up to about 400 leads a month for one closer. That's it. Whether that's through organic email, text messages, lump email, Facebook paid ads. You guys all should be running Facebook paid ads. If you're going to play the cards of a marketing agency, you got to be willing to play with fire a little bit and run ads just like you expect your clients to do so. Now, I don't recommend you running ads without an offer, right? As an agency, you need to run it with an offer, right? And if you do, you will have good amount of leads coming in real easy, just so you know. And you can do it without case studies as well. I just did it in a brand new industry, no case studies. My offer said, hey, we're looking to build a case study. We'll waive 50% of our marketing fee. That was my actual offer. Minimum 50 appointments guaranteed.
Hey, Paulson, I have a question.
Yeah, hold on one second, Robert. Let me go in order if you don't mind.
Okay.
Huria, let's go with you, Miss Khan. Let's go with you, and then I'll come back to you, Robert.
I'm Kiran, not Khan.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No
Go ahead.
problem. I just want to ask about the second offer. So what is it, the separate call will be done or the same call the person will be offering the same thing?
Same. All offers you have from your business could be presented in the same demo call.
Okay. And secondly, I am at under 5 clients at this time, and I'm looking to hire a person. I'm in real estate niche. So I definitely need, because my offer is like the leads we will be generating for our clients. There will be ISA will be calling to those leads, and we will be giving only 4 or 5 people who are hard and looking to buy or sell to the client realtor at that time. So what you suggest in my model, like I'm looking to hire a ISA plus a person, ISA plus VA, that the person will be doing both things until I'm 5 plus and I have more work for that person to do. So what should be?
You're offering sales as your service, right?
No, I am the realtors that will be working with me. We will be calling all the leads I have generated for them, and only the warm people who are ready to buy or sell, those are the people, my calling people will be transferring to the realtors.
Sure.
So
What you're talking about is your fulfillment offer. I am
yeah.
strictly talking about agency sales of inbound leads coming in and how you set up your own sales team for your agency. I'm not talking
get it.
about
Get
your
it.
clients with sales services.
Okay, get it. That is those are fulfillment people actually, not the sales calling
Yeah,
people.
they're not.
That's right.
That's an ISA, independent appointment setters or closers. You can leverage closers to jump into your actual service lines as well, but I don't recommend that unless you're advanced at like 100 to 150 clients. I don't recommend that too early. So what you're talking about is a great offer for a real estate industry, right? But I'm not talking about that today.
Okay, get it. Yeah, I was just mixing ISA with that
closer. No worries. You can use an ISA as your sales admin unit, right? That's what I mean. You can leverage Eliza and some of the partners there. If you're running ads, have Eliza set up all your appointments for you, right? You have 70% AI and 30% the agencies, the 4 agencies that are partnered up with High Level, right? So you can, instead of hiring a sales admin at $1,500 a month at $40K, you can now leverage that for $499. Right? There's ways to kind of lower your costs there. So let's go with Robert. Let's go with you, and then let's go with Mr. Standard Business Consulting.
Yeah, I wanted to first off thank you for all the great content, because like you said, all of this we had it as agency owners, we have in our minds that we have to do, but as we grow, we're at different stages and we don't really know when to get to that stage and how it would look. So that definitely paints a great picture in our minds. So thanks.
Yeah, absolutely.
The question that I have is,
and the real thing that you got to take away from this call is not my opinion or your opinion. It's the opinion of the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
The numbers talk loud and clear. It's either you have 400 leads a month or you don't. If you're not there, make sure you get there before you can hire. And that's how, like if somebody tells me I have 1 client, that's not an indication whether they need to build out a sales team or not. If you have 500 leads coming in, I don't care if you only have 1 client. You need to have you need to have a sales department right out of the gate, right?
Exactly. That takes the guesswork out, so that's great.
100%. Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, first of all, how do you pay them and when do you pay them?
Keep it simple. I just started off my agency in November. Dude, I haven't even had time to slap on an LLC, to be honest. Right? I haven't even had time for that. I've used my previous agency's contracts to just get started. I don't care. I just want to get the ball rolling, see if there's presence in the niche that I'm in, right? So I pay my sales guys through PayPal, told them to set up a PayPal. I'm going to manually just set that up until I can bring in my sales admin.
Okay, cool.
right?
Uh,
So
for
PayPal, pay them on the 15th and the 30th.
Perfect. For now, for everybody else, if you guys have the LLC set up, I'll stick to Gusto. That's the payroll.
Gusto is fine.
Yeah.
We use Zenefits. We've
Yeah.
used couple. There's a. It's not about the cash register. I don't really care, right?
All right.
I'm just thinking about how to get the people in front of the register.
All right, let's say you hire them, and like, how often do you really like follow up with them, or you get in contact with them so you can have that accountability with them?
So Ann says yes, you're right, and they are 1099 contractors typically. I mean, every employee, every person in your whole agency, if you're under 100 clients, you can keep them on 1099. Okay, even I've seen agencies that 300-400 clients and still keep everybody at 1099. Then you want to talk to your CPA and legal side just to figure out what's the tax. You know, you have payroll tax that you're losing out on if you don't make them an employee. So you want to look at your numbers and figure that out. But Robert's asking, what is it that you should do to keep them engaged, right? The question is, keep who engaged?
The salespeople, like, how do you keep
Well,
them accountable?
no. There's no salespeople. Who in the unit?
Oh, the sales executive.
Correct, right? Your account executive, they require a different training versus your sales admin. They require a different interaction versus your business developers and your marketers. The way I function is, so because I am an executive at high level and I have this agency, the only two time slots I really have is like 9:45 to 10:30 in the morning. I've got like a 45-minute window, right? Then in the evening, right, maybe around 4:15 to 5. Both of those times, I'll jump on a Zoom call with them, and I'll just help them go through. And what I do is build out a library of objections, right? That's all I do with them. Hey, tell me about an objection you heard today. Let me give you my thoughts on it. That's the only training I provide. I make a list of library of objections. That's it. That keeps them on par of what it is. Guess what? Everything else is intact because I'm going off my KPIs. I'm going to be talking to my ad buyer and my marketer if I see lower than 300 leads coming in that month. I can talk to everybody else. The closer only just needs the ability to close, right? And says, can I have that library? I'll probably create it, I'm sure, right? I'll make one for you guys. But the idea is to give them what they need, not more or less. That's it, right? So every day, once or twice, maybe typically once. I don't even have time for 2 calls. I just do 1 call and that's it. I recommend an accountability call. So Mondays, beginning of the week, that call should be an accountability call. It's not an objection handling call. Hey, Robert, hope you had a great weekend. Let's set some goals for this week. What's your goal this week? Tell me your goals, actually, Robert, for your agency. What's your goal this week?
Well, right now we're at about 20 monthly paying clients.
Okay.
And we've taken some time out for to incorporate high level into our agency to automate everything. As a matter of fact, when you mentioned, the agencies usually have a high churn rate, we have spent so many months and effort into like turning that around. Like our average
focus on that.
Yeah, but we've done that already, so we're pretty good on that.
Well,
like
you're good. You're good. Don't spend any more time on it.
Exactly. So now all my focus right now it's on this. So that's what I'm focusing on.
Yeah, I'm telling you, we didn't get to 480 clients by providing more to our clients. We got there by enhancing the throttling on sales. Right? Some of our clients, they go from Facebook ads to websites to SEO to social media. Yeah, they expand, but they're not going to go talk to another business owner and say, hey, listen, I found this incredible marketing guy, because that's like opening up the lid and showing that your business is not working, right? a
Definitely.
lot of the business owners don't want to share that they have to hire a marketing person because it's an indication that you don't got your stuff together, right? So it's even tough for them to even refer you out.
Yeah.
So my recommendation is throttle the sales pedal more than everything else.
Indeed.
You
Yeah, I can
follow the
attest to
problem?
that. If you have a strong fulfillment channel like us, that's still not guarantee that they're going to stay with you forever. But I'm telling you that you can still find a middle ground. Like our average clients stay with us like 2 years. So
Yeah.
there is a way to do it without me spending as much time. If you can automate this, you can also automate fulfillment. But I agree with you that this should be your first priority. But there is a middle ground. Like don't just automate this 100% and then leave fulfillment out in the woods and let the
Well, yeah,
client
I
run
mean,
out.
you got to do ethical business, right? You got to fulfill what you promise. You've got to deliver results. That I don't question, but I do question people focusing on expanding the revenue there. Don't waste your time trying to expand revenue there. That's just one at a time over so long, right? And the way at the high level agency, the way we've expanded revenue is not really even expanding on Facebook ads by itself. We've enrolled them into SEO. We took over their websites. We took over blogging. We took over social media management. All the marketplace products you guys see on there, we have expanded almost every product for clients, right? We take over the entire marketing arm, and those are the clients that stick with us for like, I would say our average lifetime now is about 10 to about 15 months. The only ones above that are the clients that we do print media, billboard, TV commercials, traditional marketing, not really digital marketing. Okay, let's go with the next person. Standard Business Consulting.
Hey, what's up, Paulson? I had a question about sales admin. You said the 35 to 45K sort of range. I'm assuming that's a full-time hire. So when would you transition
So in the beginning, you can actually get away with a part-time hire until you have 2 closers. When I get to 2 closers is when I actually bring them full-time.
That's what I was going to ask you, because I'm assuming to start off, we could get away with a VA and then transition into someone that is more in depth doing that, focusing on that. So you say 2 closes is about where you need to be before you kind of take that dive?
Yeah, well, let me unpack what you just said. I don't want to hire a VA either. I want my sales closers to handle the activities themselves until they don't have any more time. So what do? I give them access to Proposify. I'll give them access to the Stripe account to swipe. I'll give them access to wherever we have agreements. They have full access to all the admin activities. If one of them comes back and tells me, hey man, like I'm spending like an hour and a half on admin work, then okay, cool. Stick it out for another month, buddy. We'll go ahead and hire somebody for you that's going to work with you. But I don't want to hire just to hire thinking that I'm going to fill the activity for them. I don't want to be hiring VAs to then let the VAs go to bring in a full-timer. That's too much work for no reason in a 3-month span. So I recommend letting them run to the ground and drown. And then at that point, it's very easy to bring in a sales admin. It's not hard. You'll find a lot of talent there. But 2 closers is a good indication for a sales admin if they're tapped out with admin activities.
Make them do it till it hurts.
Yeah, buddy. I mean, you're making 100% commission off my setup right now. Let's go, right? Right. So, I mean, some of these guys will make 15, 20 grand. I'm telling you, and they don't have a problem sending, if they're successful at what they do, they're going to spend more hours for you. They're going to go above and beyond to make it work. Right. They're not going to tell you, hey, I need a sales admin. I need to recognize that they need a sales admin myself, because they're going to try to do as much as they can and be heroes, right? Then I see their time not being efficiently spent, things of that nature. But yeah, any follow-up to that?
No, that definitely makes sense. Have them tough it out. It's something you grow the rest around them, right? You get a solid closer and build around them.
Yeah, typically you would want to hire an account manager for your fulfillment side before you hire a sales admin, to be honest, in the flow.
Would you say that's important if at least to start off, we're planning to use high level for everything?
What do you mean by high level for everything?
As far as the fulfillment for,
Yeah,
through
I mean,
marketplace.
you still have to have an account manager that's managing the relationship of the clients.
Okay.
We don't if you go with marketplace, right? We're white label. We don't do gray label. We don't do black label. We strictly stay on just talking to you guys as agency owners. We don't ever talk to your clients. Okay. So you would have to have your own account management that's going to handle that relationship for you. Right. And what exactly do an account manager do? They're going to be basically hawking the account, making sure that your client's happy, giving them sales trainings, giving them tech support, giving them strategy advice, giving them heads up of expectations. I'll build this component out when it's time. But yeah, I would probably lean towards hiring an account manager after that first closer before I go back and hire a sales admin. Because quite often, if I know my account manager is going to be garbage, I'm going to pull them over to becoming a sales admin instead. So now I can just pivot one talent to another instead of even finding another person.
Perfect. Thank you.
For sure. Anybody else have some questions? Again, guys, I don't mean to be salesy on this, but legitimately, these are the main products and services we have in marketplace today that agencies themselves use. Go to marketplace in your account. On the left side, when you log in, you'll see a ton of products. If you don't have your sub account created, stop drowning in YouTube videos. We'll just knock it out for you. If you don't want to have appointment setters and sales admins, go with Eliza. These partners have independent ISAs we've partnered with. They can handle all of that for you at a very low cost. If you don't even have your funnels and websites and all of that set up, and you're starting out, if you have less than 5-6 clients and you don't have, base level websites created for your own agency, consider the startup agency bundle. Mini Rush Pack, it's basically premium Rush Pack divided into just one offer. You want us to run your paid ads for you for your own agency? Go with Mini Rush Pack, right? If you're going after realtors, chiropractors, or whoever, you need to have an offer. If you have an offer, we can run those ads for you. And what that does is eliminates these two hats for you, the sales admin and marketing executive. Okay? That can be fulfilled at least at a temporary level until you bring it all in-house yourself. So you have some resources there. And even if you don't use us, go to the partners of high level, right? Go to the job board, find people that you can really be resourceful with. It's not just us. Anything else that we should cover? I know I shared a lot of information. What were the biggest takeaway for you guys? Let's go with Ben Roman. What was your biggest takeaway, buddy? I don't hear you yet.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, great. Well, I appreciate you giving kind of that the big view here. Definitely seen it from kind of the big picture standpoint. And then I guess I've always had some questions about the marketplace and kind of what went on there. I've been trying to do that piece of it for 3 or 4 years now, working with these, subcontractors or VAs. And I keep running into the exact same problem. As soon as they start making some real money,
they're gone.
Then something happens, and then things get lost, things get taken. And so that's the piece that keeps kind of limiting me there. But
yeah. And that's something that you'll see quite often in the space. There's a fairly big turnover when it comes to building out an internal team. This is exactly why we decided to even have a marketplace, right? We highly considered not having a marketplace, trust me. Okay. But sure. More and more agencies were struggling on the fulfillment side. Okay. And the high level agency ourselves, we've got a lot of experience. We've been doing this for a long time. And then we opened up the white label side because every service you get from Marketplace is from us. We don't outsource anything. We don't have any VAs behind us. You can come to Dallas, walk in with us, have coffee with us. We're real people, right? There's no, and we're not going to go take your clients in any way, shape, or form. We've got about 480 of our own that we're trying to handle. So you can definitely leverage us, even at a temporary level. Let's just say you put together a 6-month plan until you scale up enough to hire somebody in-house. Go for it. I don't think it's a bad idea. If you go to the help desk, there is a list of all the services we have in Marketplace. I'm talking about Marketplace 2.0. Marketplace 1.0 is what you see in your platform today, but 2.0 is coming out with new services, expanded services, new prices. And if you need to talk to somebody on the Marketplace team, guys, go to speakwith.us/marketplace. I don't want this call to be about Marketplace. I want to make sure we talk about sales and kind of tackle all those issues that you guys have. Ben, any questions on the sales side of the agency?
I don't think about the sales side, no.
Okay.
I guess I'm really interested in everything I see pop up on the boards about the SaaS model. Obviously, kind of manually entering in any clients right now is a big
it's going to be
push in this,
temporary, right? Like I say, go sell if you can for about maybe a month and a half. As soon as Pro Plan is really like established, you guys will be able to automate a ton of stuff, managing your own subscriptions, creating subscriptions, managing their billing, managing their features, managing enrollment, managing Twilio rebilling. I mean, we're going to just automate the SaaS fulfillment for you as much as we can.
Sure.
Only thing you need to do right now is create your list of items you want for your clients, right? Create that. Go ahead and manually do maybe like 5, 6 if you can. We've had what was it, John Olson, that had posted in the group and said, hey man, I followed exactly what you said down to the T on the numbers, and he got a couple of clients, and he's on his way to get 300 SaaS clients pretty soon. I don't know how quick he's going to get there, but 300 SaaS clients is much better than 5 agency clients. I promise you. SaaS clients don't leave you. Once they're in, right? It takes a little bit of time. They may not log in the second month or third month. You got to educate them a little bit, but once they're in and they understand the system, they're in for the long haul. You'll keep them for like 5, 6 years until a new high level comes out, maybe in 5, 6 years, who knows?
Yeah, in your strategy, you let everybody know about the make a list of objections and work on that. I've been living that for 20 years. So.
Oh man, congrats. I think it's a big lift for closers to know that you understand their world. Half the time, guess what I'm doing? I have the document open and they're typing up the actual objections. This is the objection that I face. And pretty soon you're going to find out there's only like 4 real objections. Right? You're going to see all the closers come together with like a list of 50 items with the same variation of objections.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's fun.
Right? So awesome stuff. Let's see. Gus, what was the takeaway for you, man? You got a big whiteboard behind you. Funalytics Live.
The thing that opened my eyes the most, what was the big takeaway here, was seeing your map. It made me think so much bigger. I come from the ClickFunnels world, and I'm ClickFunnels certified.
Never heard of it. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. But anyway, I plan things out and I run things. However, seeing something at that scale, knowing that could take in months and months, but just build it out, and the power that puppy has is off the charts.
Yeah. I'm gonna see.
I love the way that you have you draw in the lines when that task is completed.
Yeah. So when my business development hats get on, guess what? Right now I have one closer that's working, and for him I have cold email, Instagram paid ads, and Facebook paid ads running with an offer. That's for one closer. On average, I'm getting about 3 to 320 leads a month. for this brand new agency. Within we started on November, we just hit our fourth client, right? And we're like at 7K or something like that, right? And now I'm evened out. I'm evened out on marketing ad spend. I'm evened out on my account manager that I have, an ad buyer that I have, and I just brought in my closer, right? And now, as soon as he's ready to go and he's more comfortable, I'm gonna open up direct mail. I'm gonna open up Facebook organic, Instagram organic. And how do I do that? I'll find VAs that can do any one of those items, right? I'll have my paid ads guys running all these ads, right? A real agency, when I say real, what I mean by is like 100 client unit agency. That's an agency that has arrived. Under that, everybody's a freelancer in my mind, respectfully. Okay. And the reason why is because they're running a 3-man show, maybe a 4-man show, and that's about it, right? They're not equipped to scale anywhere yet. But until then, you can get to 100 clients with just that lean of a team, in my opinion. So as soon as I have 2 closers that are locked in, right, I'm going to run a second paid ads campaign or traffic channel and get the lift up to maybe 500 leads. For me to get to 500, I'm going to have to spend about, right now we spend about $1,200 a month. I think we're going to get to about $2,000 a month, right? But we're going to get to $500 days in the next 3 months or so. If I can have a third closer or a second closer with an admin, because if you have an admin, they can move faster, right? There's more efficiency there. But thanks for the feedback, Gus. I'm glad I laid out a fairly significant macro map of how to build out an agency with context of building out a sales department, right? So hopefully that was helpful. Let's see, anybody else want to share a takeaway for you guys? Nathan, let's go back to you, man. I see a lot of questions here. You know what I haven't done, guys, is look at the Facebook post. Let me see if there's any questions there. But Nathan, go ahead, buddy.
I have to say, one thing I took away from this was the importance of the communication, right? Making sure that they're being nurtured 24/7. So when they get on that sales call, they practically know exactly what they need and possibly asking you for that sale.
Yeah, exactly. So if I looked at it from a tech stack perspective, oh man, there's no chance that they're leaving my ecosystem.
Yeah.
If I had just this setup, right? If I just, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more. If I have these sequences set up, right? I'm talking about these right here, right? Just reminder notification when a lead comes in with text and email. A reminder notification when a time slot is booked for an intro call, and a soap opera sequence, a 5-step soap opera sequence. And the key to the good soap operas are you need to talk in context of the offer. Hey, I'm providing a 50 appointment guarantee. Talk about it. Hey, we've had business owners that had a trust issue first. For us to rescue that trust factor, we offer them a 50 lead guarantee, 50 appointment guaranteed. And guess what? Nathan is now making $100,000 a year working with us monthly for $1,597. It needs to talk specifically, dramatically
to the reason why they're not signing up, to the reason why they're not. Yeah, I get it. So that mind map you have set out, how does one get their hands on that mind map?
I mean, I can, this is a Funalytics account, guys,
yes,
that I had signed up for. Let me see if I can extract this out. There is a way to export the PNG, but it doesn't export the background. So let me see. Okay. Let me see what I can do. I'll see if I can make a PDF of this and share it with you guys. But yes. but this is just one side of the agency, right? Like if you go further east, There's an account management side on fulfillment here. Right? I haven't built that out because there's no need to build that out yet.
Not yet.
It's a brand new agency, right? And this is live. So I'll try to see if anybody wants to screenshot it. Thing is, even if you did, it's hard to see the small letters.
Yeah, I want to see
Let
the
me see what I
detail.
can do. Let me see if I can. I may just have to sign up for.
And the next
an
thing,
account.
the 52 week was brilliant. The 52 week email, brilliant.
Yeah. When do you work on them? Pop quiz.
Sundays after Super Bowl.
Exactly. Don't make that your main priority. And some of you guys will drown in some stupid sequence that is not contributing to Monday's calls.
Yeah, definitely.
Right?
Definitely.
It needs to be relevant. Build out the machine for the long haul. You know, I had my dad years ago tell me, and my dad's a pastor. We're a non-denominational family. I grew up in a Christian household. My dad's a pastor, right? So he tells me, hey, Paulson, you know, growing up, here's what you should know. Never fear the man that practices 1,000 kicks in one day. But always fear the man that practices one kick in 1,000 days. Because when I build businesses out, I think of myself as the man who kicks one kick at a time. But boy, I'm going to go for 2,000 days. I won't give up on this endeavor, right? Never worry about the guy that's posting a bunch of results and then he's selling crypto like in a week. Right? He's nothing's wrong with crypto. I'm saying he's pivoting from agency to crypto to courses to e-com to blah, 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 blah. Like there's no consistency, right? So some of you don't model off of other agencies that are inconsistent like that either. So think of that in every single way. Guys, before I end the call today, just a few things. If you want to talk to somebody about the fulfillment side, go to speakwith.us/marketplace. Let me pull this up real quick. When you go into this marketplace, we get such a high volume of people that want to talk to the fulfillment team. You need to fill out this form and help the team understand what are the actual projects you want to get done. Okay. If you do that, the calls will go efficiently. Okay. That's speakwith.us/marketplace. Either you'll talk to myself or Alyssa or anybody else on our team. Go to this domain to actually talk to somebody on the fulfillment side. If you want case studies for what we do on fulfillment, go to help.gohighlevel.com. You see a lot of Chase's content, some of the white papers, articles, all of that stuff. And then in here, I've got 2 sections myself, is case studies and sales trainings, okay? In case studies built out for each industry, we load these up in here, okay? Websites, Facebook ads, Google ads, a lot of the collaterals from the calls.
Matthew Fuller with Shield Storm Restoration.
Also social media management. All these case studies are all in there. So be resourceful, talk to the marketplace team on fulfillment. But ultimately today, I wanted to layer out this map for you guys, help you understand how a real business gets built out. This is the blueprint of an agency. This is a live agency blueprint that I follow to this day with my business partner, Luis, as we just launched an agency. We just got to 4 clients with this. I've got 1 closer. We've got 3 channels running. Sundays, I'm just at like 4 sequences right now. It's going to get built out. If you guys have any other Q&A, any questions that I can answer, this would be a good time.
I have a question,
any Q&As that you guys want to talk about?
I do have a question, but I feel like you're breaking up a little bit.
I am?
You're good now.
Okay, go ahead, David. What's the question?
May I share my screen if that's cool?
I would get in trouble for that. What's the question?
It's it's basically I built off a spreadsheet I wanted to share with you based off the offer of the 297 subscription plus the 297 fee, and then another.
Is it the 7?
Yeah, that one. I
Yeah,
built upon.
share with me on a call and we'll go over it and we'll see if we can publicly share it.
Is it that same URL that you gave us with the marketplace? The Speak With Us marketplace?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I'll do that there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank
Or just reach out to me on Facebook and just share with me. And I mean, just so you guys know, we do have 7 figures. We did create this spreadsheet for all of you. I don't know if you guys know this already.
Even these numbers are like right here. If you do the math, they're incorrect. I wanted to share my screen because right here you said you have 15 customers, the next month 30, the next month 45. So I want to be at so for me, mine says February 0, March 5, April 10, May 15. So I'm working up to 20 customers, at least one yes per business day. That's my customer goal for this task.
So what's the issue again?
How do I get to, instead of working up to 20, how do I immediately get to your numbers like 15, 30, 45? Because it just seems unrealistic to.
It's actually pretty simple.
Just pick more than
how many
channels, right? Yeah.
Well, how many of these channels do you have live right now?
I'm building them out, so I'm actually launching this month. Me and my guys.
Currently, you said you're at 5 or 10 a month, right?
Oh, this is what I have built out in this spreadsheet I was going to show.
No, what I'm asking is, what traffic do you have live running offers in?
Right now, it's going to be outbound prospecting. So
is that all there is?
It's kind of tiny. Hold on one second.
You guys following how I'm going through my thought process on this, right?
It's currently one.
If I know I only have 5 closes on a SaaS offer, what I'm going to look at is the channels that I have live. Do I have cold email? Do I have direct mail? Do I have LinkedIn? Do I have outbound prospecting? Do I have an affiliate program? Do I have all these organic DMs? Do I have paid ads running? So my question to you, David, is actually really simple. How many organic or paid traffic do you have live today for you to get to those numbers?
Right now, nothing. I don't have anything yet.
Right. So it's a fair assessment to say that you're actually right on par with what it should be, right? If you were running ads and you got to, let's say, only 5 new SaaS clients and you're running $1,000 of paid ads, there's a problem there. Your offer is not resonating with the crowd.
For sure.
Right. So going back to what I said, and I hope you take this well, David. My intention is not to give you an opinion. I always go off of numbers. Numbers talk to me, right? If I know I want a certain level of result, these are the numbers that I have to get to, whether it's SaaS offer or big offer, small offer, agency offer. The numbers have to make sense. That's it. It's that simple. Agency growth turns into a math problem, right? So you should be able to get to those numbers. Like I know at least 4 or 5 agencies that do at least $150,000 a month on SaaS.
Right. I guess my
they
thing is
run like 8-9 traffic. They run like 12 organic channels. The more channels, the more you can do. So it's that simple.
Right. I'm not comfortable with running ads just yet. I've done it before in the past, not with the SaaS product or a subscription. Right now I want to jumpstart
for your agency services?
No. Right now I'm jumping into outbound prospecting and nailing that down.
Yeah, I mean, I think day one you should run paid ads. Save up $1,000, go run them. Right? I'm telling you, that's gonna be the fastest way to grow. You cannot grow your agency with just outbound. It's really hard. For outbound, you need to be ranging around 5 to 6,000 calls a month for
Mhm.
you to have less than 5 closes. That's a lot of volume for one guy. I'm telling you.
For
I've
sure.
done this 3 rounds. I'm telling you from personal
This is why I'm
experience.
asking the questions, man. I'm learning from you. So
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean, I took there was a guy named Ross who used to do a course on building out a appointment setter outbound prospecting system. So I would run Craigslist ads to bring in prospectors, have
Mhm.
30 people pounding the phones. It never got anywhere. And we actually did get to about 3,000 calls a month. Not many clients came from that. It was a lot of stress. The fastest way you're going to grow is paid ads.
For sure.
I promise you. The second fastest is cold email. The third fastest is a second paid ads channel, right? The fourth system is a larger cold email or prospecting, organic, something of that
Is
length.
cold email different from outbound prospecting?
It is.
That's what okay, so walk me down the difference real quick because I'm confused on that.
Outbound prospecting, in my mind, is an independent call center type of function. They are calling Yelp. They're calling a list of 1,000 members. It's cold calling. That's outbound prospecting.
Okay, so I'm confused. I'm sorry. Cold emailing is what I was going to be doing.
Yeah. Do you have
Okay.
at least 18 to 20,000 emails going out a month?
I'm trying to. So in the past trainings, I'm working on getting all the Google domains to build out. Basically, I have to create 10 Google accounts, 15 Google accounts, and manually do it. Send 10 per day.
No, you're not. You gotta be the CEO.
I know. I'm just
Right?
gonna set that.
Don't do the activities that you're gonna hire people to do. Think like a CEO. I'm gonna find me a VA that I'm gonna pay $280 a month on PayPal. They're gonna pound out 500 emails a day. They have to set up their own email accounts. They have to set up their SIM cards. They've got to set it all up themselves.
They do it. So I don't set it up for them. They'll just build it out for me.
Nope.
Because I'm in the I want to have full control. So I build it out and then I pass it off to them. So I know every step of my business.
That's a mental thing.
Dude, it is.
Dude,
Yeah.
when you hire people for $200,000 a year, trust me, you cannot tell them what to do. At a certain point, when you get to your business level, like you won't be able to tell the people that you hire. You bring them in so they can tell you what you should be doing, right? So from that sense, guess what my VAs, when I bring them in, guess what they do? They tell me about the system that they're going to build. And I say, okay, here's my debit card. That's it.
Right.
I'm going to play CEO and business developer. I am not going to be a VA for like 2 months so I can save $400 and I'm missing out on all the sale that I can be closing instead for 2 months, 3 months. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's okay. You are dealing with a normal thing, just so you know. It's a mindset, framework to get away from the idea of less control. Same thing happens in fulfillment. When you first bring in your first ad buyer, you're going to hate every single ad that they ever build. You're going to hate all the funnels they ever built because guess what? You're matching your own ad skills to what you would have done versus what they're doing. You've got to get out of that mindset of doing the work of the employees versus being the business owner. But I appreciate all of you guys. If you guys, again, have any questions on Marketplace, go to speakwith.us/marketplace. You can talk to our team. These are some of the products that are really popular right now. And matter of fact, for Mini Rush Pack this month, we have $200 off. And that waives all your setup fees and things like that. And it's a pre-launch that we're doing, just so you guys know. Marketplace 2.0 is on the way. So some of these products and services are not going to be there. Excuse me. You do want to get on a call with our team members and talk to them. But anyways, guys, I appreciate this
But
session.
one real short question. See if you can
Go
wrap
for it, Gus. Go for it,
see if you
Gus.
can wrap that puppy in 2 sentences. What the hell is a rush pack?
A rush pack is a lead generation pre-bundle. So if you want us to run your Facebook ads and Google ads with 3 or 4 offers, we can run that for you.
Fantastic. That sums it up. Thank you.
Yep. And do you know how to get to Marketplace?
I've got it bookmarked. I'm sure I do.
So what you do is go to your app, right? You log into your high-level app, right? And then on the left side, you go to Marketplace.
Oh, yeah.
In your agency, and you'll see the rush packs in here. You'll see that rush packs have 3 campaigns. Those are actually, they need to be corrected and say they're 3 offers. Mini rush pack is just 1 offer instead of 3. So you'll see some products in there. We're in the process of building a Marketplace 2.0. We're just a few weeks away from new products. So if you want any fulfillment services, go here, take a look at it. If you want to talk to our team, go to speakwith/marketplace, and you'll be able to fill out the form and tell us which project that you're interested in. They'll be able to tackle all those items for you. Okay. So have a good rest of your afternoon, guys. This was a great session on sales management. We were able to map out this whole thing for your agencies. No promises, but I'm going to try to see if I can create like a PDF variation out of this. I don't know if I can, but I'll try. If not, I'm going to leave it like this. So those of you that want to take a screenshot, you could when the recording is up. But I appreciate all of your time. Thanks for engaging. Those of you that were watching in the Facebook group, I'm going to go back and answer some of your questions a little later today. Have a good rest of your afternoon, guys.